Okay, so y'all remember when I told you, obviously, that Hollywood is loaded with filthy stuff, right? People, oh my goodness, have done some filthy, filthy things. I cannot believe how much dirt has come out since Diddy went down, okay? I cannot believe how much dirt is coming out, and I cannot believe the rate of speed in which the dirt is flying, okay? I didn't know this. I watched videos on YouTube about it. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the description. But they were talking about Prince, okay? Prince was having a major issue with his management company at the time, Warner or something, whatever they're called. And he didn't really dig the fact that he didn't own his own name in the industry. All right. So he'd been having battles with them. Almost simultaneously, Diddy was trying to acquire them for his business. Okay. And Prince's sister and him were extremely close. They shared everything. Okay. They told each other everything, secrets, and all this, right? Prince knew, I don't know how he knew, but he knew that something was going to go down and he was going to be targeted. I think he knew he wasn't going to survive. The reason I say that is because he had, like, he tried to prepare his sister for him no longer being there. I don't know what that conversation entailed, but he also, like 4 days before he died, they had a conversation, and he had said something along. It was like a weird premonition or something. Like he said something along the lines of, "Well, I've set out to do everything that I wanted to do in my life. You know. In other words, I'm all good now in a weird way." But he had also mentioned that he was in trouble. And when his sister tried to verbally pin him against the wall, verbally, not physically, verbally, "Hey, what's going on with you? Talk to me," he would make a joke or he would change the subject. 4 days later, he was dead. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try to, you know, say it the way he said it. Oh, excuse me, guys. The guy that owned his name is Big Homie. Big Homie is the guy who is straight, born and raised in Chicago. He got his own business. He owns a security company and he protects celebrity women. And he said something along the lines of a paraphrase because I can't remember exactly how he worded it. But he said in Hollywood, and not just Hollywood, it happens in the political arena also, and probably in the wealthy circles as well. He said something along the lines of, "I didn't realize how cheap a human life is. It like your life means nothing when people want to target you. Your life it has no value because they will dismiss you and get you taken care of like you're no longer breathing, like they would step on an ant. No human value at all. You are just a problem that needs to be eliminated." Okay? I remember asking my friend many years ago, he used to be in the Navy, and I said, "Eric, let me ask you a question." He goes, "Okay." I said, "Do you feel that if you come across something in the military that you shouldn't know, that you would have there's a possibility that you will have a fatal accident? He said, yes. He didn't have to pause. He didn't have to hesitate. He didn't have to think about it. He said yes without question. And the letters are already filled out. All they got to do is put your name in there when they, have the documentation of what happened to you. Unfortunately, Billy Bob had a fatal accident doing a routine military exercise, and it went wrong and he didn't survive. I mean, anybody can make anything look like an accident. There was a senator, can't remember his name. I think her name was Chandra Levy or something like that. She was involved with a senator, if I'm not mistaken. I think she got pregnant by him. She was having an affair with him. He was married to somebody else. She ended up dead in a cooler in the ocean, if I recall correctly. Chandra Levy, I think it is. And nobody's going to press charges. Nobody's going to talk about it. It's just you got rid of a problem and we move on. There will be no charges. Now, if you or I were to do some shit like that, we'd be under the prison. But when you have clout and you have prestige and you have money and you have power, you are permitted. The law is flexible for you. You can twist the law, turn it, bend it like a pipe cleaner in any direction you want to, and nothing will happen to you because you're powerful. There's a different set of laws and rules for them and different set of laws and rules. They don't have laws and rules. They do as they please. You and I are not in that circle, so we would never see the light of day if we were to do something like that. But I was stunned. Like I said, the information that's flying everywhere is like, I know I keep saying I'm tired. Bear with me. It's blowing my mind how fast information is coming out. Blowing my mind. And so far as Hollywood goes, let me tell you something, honey bunny. I watched this video on YouTube about, obviously, female models, female dancers, people that are in the performing industry, that type of deal. And they get, obviously, hit on and promised all these great things will happen in their career if they get with this person, whatever. That's nothing new. That's why they call it a casting couch. I mean, what are you willing to do to get your career off the ground? Diddy did that also. We talked about that, okay? Touching people, trying to convince them to do whatever. However, I one time came across a video where it was talking about male models. And I guess I hadn't thought of it. Like, I'm saying like again, bear with me, sorry guys. Women get harassed all the time sexually. This is nothing new. This is a routine thing that women go through. That's just the way it is. But it had not occurred to me that males go through it too. And especially in, Hollywood or big time circles or whatever the case may be. And so I was watching this video one time, and these male models were talking about how they were sexually harassed and inappropriately touched by photographers and other people on set and people grabbing their junk and whatnot. And I'm like, what the hell? I can't remember who it happened to. I've got his face in my brain. He's an actor, a black guy, and he was touched by somebody famous. who grabbed his junk at a Hollywood party, Hollywood get-together. And he basically wanted to beat that guy to shreds, but his wife and everybody else were like, you really don't want to do that because your career will be gone. He's got a lawsuit against that guy. I can't remember the actor's name. I can't remember, but he did sue him. It's not just women that go through it. Men go through it also. They just don't really like to talk about it. And one model, when I was watching that video, a famous designer, clothing designer, said to him, why don't you, I could do wonderful things for your career. I could just really make things happen for you. Why don't you come over to my place and we'll talk about it? And the guy's well known. I can't think of his name at the moment, but he's a well-known clothing designer, famous clothing designer. So the model was like extremely, I'm doing it again. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm doing that. My brain is peanut butter. It's on a weird setting right now, like tired setting. I'm not making any sense. But anyhow, the model went to the designer's house. Do y'all know where I'm going with this? Okay. The designer hit on him sexually, and he basically said, I appreciate that, but I don't, so many words or less, I don't roll like that. That's not what I'm into. And all of a sudden, all those promises about his career went flying out the window. There goes that, because it was based on, you got to hook me up and then I'll hook you up. Uh-huh. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But I was stunned about the information about Prince. He changed his name to a symbol because his company owned his name, so he changed it. But he had a premonition that something really bad was going to happen to him. And I also found out from, I don't remember which video I watched, I always suspected, call it women's intuition, you call it whatever you want to call it, I always suspected that Michael Jackson did not touch children. He just did not strike me as the type of person who would do that. Well, come to find out, none of that was true, which I suspected anyway, and that there was a family that was trying to extort him for money, and that's part of the reason why that came out, if I'm not mistaken. But whenever there was no evidence that he had done anything like that, and there was a family that had their kid say that they were touched because they were trying to extort money out of Michael Jackson, and everybody ran across the football field with, oh my God, he touches kids, he touches kids. And that was really confusing to me, because I looked into his spirit and I never saw the propensity for him to do that. No. And whatever video I was watching, because I've been, oh my God, information's been flying at me at a high rate of speed, and my jaw just keeps hitting the floor with everything that's coming out. They said that he was set up, that Michael Jackson was set up, that he never did that. And I was thinking to myself, I didn't think he did that. Now, was he a child in his soul? Yes, because his childhood was robbed from him. I did see that. I saw a lot of hurt in him, because I was an abused child myself, so I can recognize that type of pain in someone else. But those accusations were 1,000% false. The family was trying to extort money out of him. But everybody was ready to nail him to the cross. I'm like, oh, please. No. No, he just does not strike me as the type to do that. And he didn't. It's madness. There's just too much information that's out there now that's just got all of Hollywood flipping out. And like I said, if you don't want your name in the dirt, don't put your name in the dirt. I mean, it's not rocket science. All right. Much love. You guys take care.